Now, on to Democratic Senator Michael Bennet, and he's had a crack at his own party, his party's brand, I should say. And I'm sure there's some truth in it, but shouldn't these concerns be raised and dealt with internally?
No, I actually like it that it's public.
Okay.
It shows that it tells the American public that they're finally waking up just a little bit. There's a little bit of glimpse, a little bit of a hope for them realizing that the Democratic Party is lost, and they finally recognize that they're a bit lost. And some of, especially the blue dog Democrats, are getting fed up of the progressives who've taken over, who've led this charge of being anti-male and talking about patriarchy and everything is oppressive. So yeah, there's a bit of disgust, and I'm glad it's finally happening. I'm one of those Democrats who walked away and became an independent because of this very thing. It is a party that is not appealing anymore. It doesn't speak to the majority of the American population. They cater to a niche audience of typically wealthy elitists, coastal elitists, and they don't speak the same language I do. They don't have the same concerns that I have. So I'm glad that he's actually being public about it, because whether, you know, the reason for him saying this is because he's anti-Trump, whatever, but he is speaking some truth that their brand is actually terrible.
And I suppose for people out there, you know, like you who are worried about the brand, you're hoping that they maybe have just worked it all out. Now, the US's enemies have criticised Donald Trump's proposed $175 billion Golden Dome missile shield. Is this meant to be a joke?
No, actually, he's very serious about it. I believe it was during Trump's first administration where Space Force was brought about. So he's very serious about reinforcing space, having some sort of space command, looking out for America's interests when it comes to space as well. Of course, North Korea and Russia aren't going to like it. Trust and believe, if they were the ones doing it, they wouldn't be complaining. So, they're saying that this might turn into another space race or arms race or some sort of race. But I don't really care what Russia or North Korea thinks about this. What I do care about is actually how much is it really going to cost. Some estimates are saying that his numbers are very conservative, where the real estimates may be 4 times the amount that he's claiming. So is this worth it? And actually, how long is it going to take? Is this just going to be more government bloat? And that's the thing that we should be concerned with.
Yeah, that is a definite question that the American people, I'm sure, are very interested in. Now, NPR is suing the government over Trump's executive order, obviously, which was aimed at the public media. What's the claim, and does it have any merit?
Yeah, their claim is that Donald Trump is impeding on their First Amendment rights, but he's not. The reality is that NPR's budget is about 1% coming from the federal government. Even if it was 15 or 50%, NPR is a private organization, and they're not entitled to federal funding. And that's the biggest problem when it comes to NPR. They believe that they're entitled to the consistent, the status quo of receiving money from the federal government, just like much of the federal government or much of the apparatus that's attached to the federal government around DC especially. So no, you're not entitled to our tax money. It's not Trump's money. It's my money too. So if there are questions about your conduct as a private organization, the federal government doesn't have to fund you. And so very clearly, 99% of your budget comes from elsewhere. Fill in the gap.
Yeah, totally. He's not stopping them from saying what they're saying. He's just saying that the American people aren't going to pay for it. They're two totally different things. Now onto the US university scene, and Trump has suggested that Harvard cut its international student intake to 15%. Now he's gone pretty hard on the Ivy League universities. What's this latest barb? What's the purpose of it?
Yeah, when it comes to Harvard, they're once again upset that the gravy train is ending when it comes to federal funding, even though they have over $50 billion in endowment. They're essentially a mid-tier hedge fund. They still think that they should get as much money as they possibly can from the federal government. And they especially don't like it that Trump is calling into question how many foreign students that they bring in and for what reason. And it's very clear. I mean, it's an open secret. You charge a crazy amount of money for foreign students to come into your school. You make a lot of money that way. And so you just keep increasing the amount of foreign students who can come through. And so they're calling into question the quality of students that are coming in, the reasons for taking in all these foreign students. And you know what? I'm all for it. I'm all for them looking out for because very clearly they're not very good at delegating how many, I don't know, terrorist, sympathetic kind of students who are coming through who aren't here for the American experience, who are here to alter our society to some degree. And granted, that's not all of them, but they're obviously not taking Trump's threats seriously. And so he's exercising what he is saying.
Oh, he is absolutely exercising what he is saying. Adam Coleman, thank you so much for joining us.